In basketball, you individually affect more of the game than any other sport, and you have to do it far more often than a quarterback does in football. That's why this, to me, you can go back to the start of the regular season, considering where he is at his point in his career to have played all 82 games. But there were ups and downs for the Cavaliers this season. This postseason run, with the buzzer beaters, the scoring, the triple-doubles, the on-the-road moments, the winning Game 7 in Boston, the runner against Toronto, the Game 7 against Indiana, the 51 points in Game 1 this year, is the greatest run I've ever seen any athlete at any sport go on. And so when I saw that video of him crestfallen, gutted emotionally, because he had just put up 49 points in regulation, thrown the perfect pass at the end of regulation, set up his teammate for potentially the game-winning free throw, and watched his teammate botch that free throw, then watch his other teammate not know the score, then watch his coach not call a timeout, and know the chips are stacked against him because he's a 12.5-point dog in that game, an 8-1 underdog in the series, and the only way they really have any shot at winning a championship, all of this heavy lifting he's done all season long, comes down to if they win Game 1, they have a shot. If they don't, they have no shot. That, to me, is just human. For him to learn and have all of that absorbed at one moment is only human. Look, I'm in the middle of planning a wedding here. My fiance and I are going through on a daily basis, what do we do here? Who do we invite there? How do we do the invitations here? What about the food? What about this? What about travel, accommodations? Talk to this hotel. Do this, get this, get this, get this. And there are moments that are totally overwhelming because you're also balancing your life as your career, the other things you have to get done on a daily basis, small stuff. How do you get the dry cleaning? Who's going to cook dinner? What are we doing this weekend? Who's driving here? All this type of stuff. Is the inspection done? Have we paid this? Is the rent in? There's all these things you have to deal with in life, and then you throw on it something like planning a wedding or having a child or planning some type of ceremony or dealing with an illness or dealing with a loved one or a funeral or something like this, and life just becomes unbearable at that moment that you just have to kind of melt down and be like, oh my God, let me take a moment. Well, that's LeBron in that moment. It's the most human thing. He's not lashing out at his coach. He's not trashing J.R. Smith. He's not stomping around the huddle, screaming at everybody. He is just absorbing in that moment. I have done everything all postseason, all season. It has come down to this. I'm only focused on winning a championship here, and we had a chance, maybe. And I just dealt with the officials jobbing me, my guy missing a free throw, my other guy not knowing the score, and my coach not calling a timeout. Well, how do you absorb that in that moment? It's so easy for pop psychologists and hot sports takers to be like, oh, he should show more leadership. Well, he's got to be more in the moment. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. Take your entire life and distill it down to that moment. You have worked all off season, your whole life. You have every night showed up and done the impossible. And you've just done the impossible again in a Game 1 following a Game 6 and a Game 7 that you were elimination. So you had to, LeBron's Game 6 against Boston and LeBron's Game 7 against Boston on the road were impeccable, right? This is his first game after those. Not allowed to lose. Puts up 49. Deals with that cavalcade of disaster in the final 45 seconds of that game. Charge becomes a block. They miss 2 foul calls on Draymond. His teammate misses a free throw. JR misses the score. His coach doesn't use the timeout they have, and he's supposed to ingest all of that in that moment and not go, oh my God. Come on. Yeah, he's immortal. Yeah, sometimes he looks inhuman. Yes, he's iconic, but he's still a human being. How do you absorb all of that without going, my God, what just happened? So no, I don't blame him for that. I think it's just reality.